In a scene from Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, we see Indiana Jones climbing into a refrigerator to survive a nuclear blast, and he actually makes it out alive. But could something like this really happen in real life? What if a nuclear explosion actually took place? Nuclear weapons are a growing concern across the globe. With rising geopolitical tensions, the threat of a nuclear strike is becoming more real than ever. The United States recently announced that it will deploy long-range missiles in Germany by 2026. This decision has triggered strong reactions from Russia. President Vladimir Putin warned that if the US goes ahead with its plan to place missiles in Germany or elsewhere in Europe, Russia will resume the development of medium-range nuclear weapons. At the same time, there are ongoing debates over Iran's nuclear capabilities. On one side, we have the Gaza-Israel war, and on the other, the continuing conflict between Russia and Ukraine, both closely tied to the current state of global politics. In such a volatile environment, the risk of a nuclear explosion cannot be ignored. And if a nuclear explosion does occur, one thing is clear: you won't survive by hiding in a refrigerator like Indiana Jones. So what could actually help? What does science say? Let's break it down. An American science magazine called the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists explains just how devastating a nuclear bomb can be. Today, I'll walk you through the science behind it. Let's get into it. Every nuclear blast unleashes deadly levels of radiation, intense heat, and a powerful shockwave, killing thousands, sometimes millions, in just seconds. The first effect of a nuclear blast is the release of radioactive energy. Gamma rays and neutrons spread through the environment instantly. How long does this radiation last? Less than 1 second. But in that moment, it spreads a deadly wave across several miles. As the bomb detonates, its energy is released in microseconds, creating a blinding beam of light. When it hits the air, it forms a giant fireball. Inside this fireball, the temperature and pressure are so extreme that all matter turns into plasma. Take a 300 kiloton nuclear bomb, for example. It can cause first-degree burns in humans and animals up to 13 kilometers from the blast site. About half the energy from a nuclear bomb goes into creating a shockwave. At first, it moves faster than the speed of sound, but then slows as it expands. The intense heat pushes the surrounding air outward at high speed, creating a blast wave powerful enough to destroy anything in its path. Most of a nuclear explosion's energy is released through heat, radiation, and pressure. After the fireball cools, it rises into the sky, forming the classic mushroom cloud. Inside this cloud, radioactive particles are released into the atmosphere and carried by the wind. How much damage occurs depends on what people do immediately after the explosion. Experts usually advise staying indoors for at least 48 hours to avoid dangerous radiation exposure. Here's a comparison. Modern nuclear bombs now have yields of around 300 kilotons, 10 times more powerful than the bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The Hiroshima blast alone killed 140,000 out of the city's 350,000 people. In Nagasaki, 74,000 lives were lost. If a similar bomb hit New York City today, over 1 million people could die in the first 24 hours, with more than twice that number seriously injured. If a full-scale nuclear war breaks out, hundreds or even thousands of nuclear explosions could take place across the globe within minutes. Take this scenario, for example, a regional war between India and Pakistan. If each country launches 100 nuclear bombs, each with a yield of 15 kilotons, across various cities, it's estimated that 27 million people would die instantly. Now imagine something even worse. A nuclear conflict between Russia and the United States involving more than 4,000 nuclear weapons, each with a capacity of 100 kilotons. The immediate death toll? Around 360 million people, gone in moments. Currently, countries like the United Kingdom, China, France, Israel, India, Pakistan, and North Korea are believed to hold a combined total of more than 1,200 nuclear weapons. The global threat is real, and widespread. After the immediate devastation, the world would face even greater problems. These post-blast crises would unfold rapidly and affect the entire planet. What kind of problems are we talking about? Global climate change, lingering radiation, and social collapse. Humanity could suffer the consequences for decades. Since the 1980s, scientists have warned us about how nuclear explosions could harm the environment over the long term. U.S. researchers have found that massive fires caused by atomic blasts would send thick black smoke into the sky, triggering what's known as a nuclear winter. Carbon particles would fill the upper atmosphere and stay there for months or even years, blocking sunlight and cooling the Earth's surface. Meanwhile, the stratosphere would heat up, leading to serious damage to the ozone layer. Russian scientists have also studied how nuclear war could destroy global agriculture. If the ozone layer breaks down, harmful ultraviolet rays would reach the Earth directly. At the same time, if surface temperatures fall below freezing, sea ice would expand, and snowfall would increase. These changes would make farming nearly impossible. Ocean temperatures would also plummet worldwide. Even if radiation levels slowly decrease and the air clears of carbon particles, it could take years for the oceans to return to normal. A sudden drop in sea temperature would harm marine life and collapse ecosystems, having a huge impact on the global food chain. Extreme changes in climate, land, and sea would lead to a massive food shortage, which could last for decades. Whatever food remains might be contaminated with radiation. Even if one country has food to spare, transporting it to others would be a challenge due to icy oceans and damaged infrastructure. After a large-scale nuclear war, millions, possibly even billions of people could die of starvation. That's according to the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists, a leading American science publication. A single nuclear blast can wipe out a city in seconds, but a global war could erase entire nations, destroy ecosystems, and starve billions. The world wouldn't just change, it would end as we know it. The clock is ticking. Are we prepared to face the consequences of our creation, or are we unthinkingly racing toward disaster? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. If this video made you think, like it, share it, and don't forget to subscribe for more eye-opening stories on global threats, science, and geopolitics.